Rippasend, which Rippasend is very good right now. So that's something you're
Yeah.
gaining. Again, we just don't know how much he's going to be promoting you, or if it's up to you to promote the crowdfund stuff yourself. But guys, we have a very special guest, which was unprepared for, but he's in the back end. So, guys, he's way bigger than all of us. His first book just became a thing. He's already made more money from it than I've made from all of mine in 3 years. Give it up for Jay, Drunk3po.
Come on, I
Spaceman.
didn't need all that.
What's up,
Hey.
Jay?
Not even on
Holy
camera.
shit,
Not
dude.
even on camera. Come on, man. I gave ready
Dude,
to
nice
play.
to have you, man.
Let me I hit the conversation is fantastic. And I I'm loving hearing like everybody's thoughts on this new Rippasend, what's happening. And since I was the first one that he announced that's going to be up, upon it, just without and you guys are right. There's going to be a lot more details that are going to be released. That's probably going to help with the confusion. But the truth of the matter is that he did say that this isn't for everybody. This isn't going to be for everybody. But for like, let me give you an instance. For me, when I did Achromatic Chronicles Blue, the first book, I had zero idea what I was doing. Absolutely nothing. I went to attorneys. I went to different places that I spent money on that I didn't have to spend money on. I even spoke to tons of creators trying to get information, and it was some people like said do it this way, some people said do it this way. I had to speak to a merch department, had to speak to a different department for bookmarks, a different department for magnets, different department for shipping stuff. Critical Blast, who shipped my books out, was fantastic. I can't recommend him enough. RJ is amazing, and he helped me a lot with on the fulfillment side. But going to a place where everything that I paid for is a lot cheaper and everything is in the same warehouse, I guess you'd say, is very appealing for a lot of people, where all I have to do is focus on getting him a book, making sure I market this thing like crazy, and everything else is taken care of. For some people, that's what they need, especially if they have super busy lifestyles where they're just doing a lot of things and you don't want to worry about a lot of other stuff. Now, again, if you want to like do your Indiegogo, do it all yourself, there's no reason why you can't do it. This isn't just going to be for everyone, but just remember, when you set up an Indiegogo, you make $100,000 on Indiegogo, they're taking a huge percentage out, right? Because you're hosting on their site, which is totally fine. And then everything else that you hope that you sell. So it's like, I ordered a bunch of magnets for Achromatic Chronicles Blue. And the more you order, the cheaper it is. But if you don't have people buying as much as you ordered, then you kind of take a loss. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
So if you have a company like Rippaverse that already has relationships with certain things such as printing, shipping, and you're able to get his cost instead of my cost. Now, for my book, it cost me $21 to print a book that I was selling for $35. So my profit margin was terrible, and that's because they don't know who I am. I only sold a little over 2,000, and the book was 220 pages. So then, if you go to somebody else and they're like, "I can almost cut that in half," so you have more profit. That's a win-win for what you're trying to do. You get what I'm saying? So again, there are people that know how to do this, and they do this so well that this is not going to be for them. The last thing for me is, and this was just from the announcement itself. When they announced me on Twitter and Instagram on Rippaverse, my emails and my DMs have flooded with people that are asking for book one, because they're like, hey, I just saw Ripper promoting you. Where can I get Blue? Where can I get Blue? It's crazy. And I'm trying to respond as many people as possible. I'm like, it's not available yet, but it'll be available again when I sell Green. So I think one of the biggest problems, and I could be wrong and people can correct me, is that there are some amazing, absolutely amazing artists that are doing great comic work. Like, they are putting together some amazing comics that no one will ever know about because they just don't have the followers or whatever it is, like on social media, to get their message out there. And I think one of the bigger things is that if you're going to be associated with the Rippaverse, it's definitely going to highlight your work to an audience that might not have seen it. Again, it's not for everybody. It might not be for everybody, but I know for me and what I was marketing, it was like, holy crap. Like now I've got like this whole market of people that I'm trying to like respond to emails and all this stuff like that. Just like, you'll be able to get blue when green comes out. Like, don't worry. And now I also got 3 invitations to go on these podcasts that I've never heard of before that like to talk about independent artists and stuff like that, completely out of our 199 fellowship, So just from that social media interaction alone, it's already put my work into a realm that I wasn't in before. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So so it to me, that's important because at the end of the day, like as someone selling a product, the number one goal is you want people to buy your product.
Yeah.
So
like
it's
brand recognition, because like Ripper has a very good,
I
fan.
do see where people get are misunderstood, like seeing publishing and thinking, all right, you're going to take my book and it's going to be in stores, things like that. And I could see the confusion on those things as well. This is technically a beta phase. I could be wrong. It could be over now that I didn't know he was, I knew that he was going to announce me eventually because we had talked, but I didn't know like he was just going to like pop it off. So for someone like me, this is a perfect opportunity. That's what I think, because I didn't get the opportunity to get merch for the first book like I wanted to. I did not get the opportunity to get certain things. And now I'm going to one person and I'm like, I need this. I need this. I need this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And they said, I got you. 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 And then so on and so on. So even setting up my Indiegogo, I was a mess. And huge shout out. Anna, that Star Wars girl, came and swooped in and walked me through the process and helped me with everything. She's been absolutely amazing on that first run. So, again, for people that are trying to do this and don't know how to do those type of things well, I guess, this is a perfect opportunity for people to be like, this is it. This is what I got. All right, I'm going to go promote it. And it's going to be on your site and you're going to take care of everything else. So for me, for someone like me, like I said, it's a perfect opportunity for what I'm doing. So I don't know if does that clear things up a little bit?
No, it does.
So Jay, would you say that this is like a kind of like a jumping off point for someone like you said that kind of is getting their toes, like dipping their toes in the water, like a turnkey operation that will kind of like just get the word out? Is that kind of, would that be fair to say?
I think I think it might even be bigger than that. So
okay.
I think it's bigger than that. Like I said, that when I released Blue, I had the wonderful opportunity of meeting so many Indiegogo comic book creators and hearing their stories. And, I can only promote so much, and just, via email and people have sent me tons of stuff, like some of their work that I tried to push on different live streams and stuff. And hearing some of the stories where it's like, I didn't know how to do this. I made mistakes here. I didn't do that. Like, artists create art. Some of them are not businessmen. Some of them are both, and they do it very well. Some of them are just artists and they just want to make comic books and let somebody else deal with all the other stuff. So for me, having a one-stop shop is excellent for me. So it fit me perfectly. If it didn't fit me perfectly, I would have done the exact same thing I did for Blue, because it worked out fine for me. We did over $100,000. So why would I not just repeat the process? Like I said, Critical Blast, RJ was fantastic. And, but this is more for, like this year alone, I'm trying, it's not an excuse. It just works for me. Like, I'm going to 12 different cities this year at all these Comic Cons, running a channel, and I've got 2 books I'm trying to drop this year. So having one person that I just need to talk to make sure everything gets done is really helpful to me. So, it's extremely helpful.
Do you know if Ripper has or plans to create like a storefront for people who get in on this? Just because like when you put the word publisher out there, you do want to have the option for people to like after the campaign's over to just go buy and then like ebooks, paperbacks, like have the
Yeah,
option
I
for.
think this is just the beginning of something bigger. And
Okay.
I'll let Ripa speak for himself, but just talking behind the scenes with people from the Rippaverse, this is not just hey, we'll print your book and ship them out. This is something bigger, like it will evolve into bigger things. So does that make sense? So I think we're
Yeah,
starting,
yeah. From the
and
surface, it's with the lack of
he
details.
listen,
It's very
he
bare
told me,
bones.
yeah, well, he told me, he's like, Jay, all eyes are going to be on you, right? Because you're going to be the first. If you're the first one that gets the book out, everyone wants to see how we're going to run this thing. Everyone's going to see, like, was I fair? Like on pricing, was it this? Were you happy with the product? People that buy the book, are they happy with the printing? Are they happy? So it's like, it's I'm taking just a bigger risk as, Rip of taking a risk on me.
You're the
So
guinea pig.
because if something
Yeah,
comes
you're the
out and
guinea
it's
pig.
garbage and it's not good, then they're like, well, I'm not buying from Jay again. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a little, I'm a little nervous, but it's like, hey man, here we are. Let's just do it. So,
Very nice. Very nice.
Awesome.
but I totally get like your concerns and like, of course, I mean, I had the same ones, and it was like we had lots of conversations on the phone. It was just like, what about this? All right, what about this? Okay, this is what I paid for that. What can you do? All right, this is what I paid for this. What can you do? Listen, I don't want printed like the paper that I used. I want the same paper. You know what I mean? It was like back and forth. It was like, I'll pay extra for the better quality. I'll do this, I'll do that because this is this whole thing is important for me. And you guys, if you guys have heard my live streams, like I'm working on a movie for Achromatic Chronicles Blue. And if green comes out and the quality sucks and everything is messed up, then no one's gonna. What are they gonna think about the film? So I believe in what he's doing. I believe that he's gonna help take my work to a level that or to a place that I couldn't reach on my own, and I think the quality will be even better. So that's why I was like, all right, let's go for it. Let's see,
We had a
So,
question earlier, which I wasn't able to answer, but I feel like you probably would be. Where it was asking what happens if someone does sign up with him to do like a crowdfunding campaign, and what if the campaign does not completely fill up? Is there anything like in
such
place for what would
as like
happen?
so you're saying like if I said I need $10,000 or we won't fulfill it,
Mm-hmm.
is like,
And you
is that
cap
what
out
you're
at
saying?
like, yeah, and if you cap out
And
like
we top
halfway
out like
through.
at 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't think it's going like that. I think it's going to be a little different. So I think it'll be like if you sign up with Rippasend and you get your book done, they'll print off the amount of books that you have and send them out. Now the thing is that what happens with the crowdfunding is like this. So I wrote a book. I had to pay an editor. I had to pay an artist. I had to pay legal fees for copyright and trademark. I had to pay all those things. And usually what happens is people crowdfund that money first, right? So it's like, here's my Indiegogo. I have a vision. I want to do a comic. Here's a couple or a book or whatever you're trying to do. We'll just say comic for purposes. It's like, I've got an artist. This is it. I need to crowdfund $20,000 because that will cover my editor, that will cover my artist, that will cover my legal fees, that will cover everything, that will cover your shipping and all that stuff as well. So that's usually where that's at, right? So that crowdfunding money is for you to pay the people you need to pay. Does that make sense? And usually that money goes out first. At least for me, I was I was very lucky and fortunate that my first book took 3 years because I paid out of my own pocket before I started the crowdfund. Not everyone has the luxury of doing that, but I did. I just said, this is the first time I'm doing something like this. People don't know me as a comic book person or a graphic novel person. So I would rather wait and just keep paying out of my own pocket and invest in myself and make sure this is done. I wanted the book completely finished, like printed. I had them in my hand before I started even selling them on Indiegogo. And but not everybody can do that. A lot of people are like, I have an idea. This is what it is. This is the amount of money I need to raise to get that idea done. And if they don't hit that, they just refund the money. Does that make sense? Usually how
It does,
crowdfunding
yeah.
works. So
Mhm.
Rippa's might be a little different, where it is, my book is done. Here you go. Let's sell it on your site and let's send everything else. At least that's what I'm doing. So I don't know what somebody else would do that needs to crowdfund first. So I can't speak on that, but I made enough money on Blue that I could pay all my bills for Green. Does that make sense? Ahead of
Mhm.
time.
It does.
And, you know, pay my artist in advance and take care of him, take care of like any editing I had to do. I have a co-author for the co-author for this. His name is Aaron. He's he was a little more invested in Green than any other books that we have. So he got paid a lot more. And so we did all that. And but I have the, like I said, I had the luxury of doing that. Not everybody else does. So I don't know how that works for people that need to crowdfund first to raise the money, then pay the artist, then pay everything else out. So I can't answer those questions. That's something he would have to answer. So like, that's why I'm pushing. That's why Green hasn't been released in February. Honestly, it really wasn't the Rippa announcement, but it was, it's because my artist needed more time and I didn't want him rushed at all. And so I want to get to that place where he's pretty much finished with the book. Then I will sell it for, 3 months. And, then once the campaign's over, it gets shipped out right away. That's because I set that precedent with the first book. Does that make sense?
It does.
And not
Yeah, but
everybody,
Oh yeah.
right. Not
Go-
everybody
go
can
ahead.
do that. And that's not a bad thing. Like I said, I had the luxury of being able to do that. But other people need to raise that money first before they get started working on it. That's normally how it works. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I set a precedent with my audience and my customers, and I feel like I have to keep that going. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So
But
So,
let's say someone goes with Rippaverse and they fund out or Rippasend and they fund their book. But let's say like 6 months down the line, they want to get their books like on Amazon. Do you know if there's any like copyright or if Rippa will own, if there's anything that would prevent them from self-publishing later on after going with
Exclusivity.
Rippasend?
So you're saying, so if I had Achromatic Chronicles through Rippasend, am I still able to put it on Amazon if I wanted to?
Yep.
Is that what you're asking, or are you
It is,
asking
it is,
him to
yeah.
sell it through that? Yeah, I still own. He doesn't own my book.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good to know. That's very important for anyone out there, and that does make Rippasend a more viable or not viable,
yeah.
a better
He doesn't
option,
own.
especially in my eyes.
I could do whatever I want with my book.
Mhm.
So if he's fulfilling a service for me that I need him to fulfill, and I still want to throw it on Amazon or wherever, I could still do that, and there's nothing he could say or do about it. So
That's great.
That's definitely
the other thing too is everyone's asking me is like, Rippaverse going to be stamped on the front of the cover? I don't know. It's not. So, but to be honest with you, if he wanted to stamp Rippasend or something on there, I wouldn't care. I would be an honor. And I told him that over the phone. So, but he never told me that I have to do that. So,
And might I add, let me
Sure.
interject here.
Sure.
As somebody that's a graphic designer and artist, the fact that you gave him all the time he wanted, you are a god amongst men. Because I probably have like 3 ulcers from all the timelines I have to meet.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
I originally was gonna just go ahead and release, the Indiegogo in February, and just like I did last year, and keep that trend for the next 2 books, and then once he's done, send it. But I was like, we had a long talk, and I was like, you know what, people, we made a quality book the first round. People will wait another 3 or 4 months. Time goes by so fast. It'll be fine. And we just want it done right. I don't want any rushed pages. I don't want, stress. I don't want any of that stuff. So, and he'll have it done maybe April, Mayish. So no, it's no worries. But yeah.
And that's what Razor Fist and George Alexopoulos did. They're just letting them kind of take their time to make sure they put out a good product. And I think that's what's sorely missed in lots of branches of entertainment today, is that they rush to meet a deadline and it suffers. So I know everybody appreciates the quality that they're getting, and I have no doubt that Achromatic Green is going to be awesome. So
I think so. I think people will like it. It's not going to be as big as the first book. I think it's 130 pages. The first book was 220. But yeah, because the green and blue happen at the exact same time. So, which is kind of a unique writing style. So things that are happening in blue, when you read green, they can match the timeline. It's just from a perspective of a different child. And then we get into the last two books, which conclude the story, which is really going to take a crazy turn. So I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited. And then, like, of course, as much as I could say about the animation project, I'm hoping to have a teaser trailer in May. So,
nice.
May. Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. So that's and then we'll figure out how we're gonna finish the movie. But teaser trailer will be done. So it's about $400,000, I think. $400,000 to do the animation.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
but you'd say
anybody got
Rippasend is
Yo
better than
Pops
Disney?
can cover it. Yo Pops got that kind of
Yo
money.
Pops
He-
got it.
Not that
Put
much.
you on as
Yeah.
executive producer, man. Come on, man.
You know what? If that's the case, maybe I'll go into my couch cushions and
There you go.
try to
There
do
you
something
go.
down there.
I would love to see the ideas in your book animated, because one of my favorite moments growing up is when I was watching The Wizard of Oz on TV. It's when Dorothy walked out into the land of Oz, and it just blew my mind that they
Yeah.
switched it up like that. So I have a
Yeah.
feeling, because I have a 10-year-old son, he is going to be stoked because he loves that kind of stuff. He's a big reader, and he loves animation just like
That's
any
awesome.
good kid. So yeah, I'm definitely, when you said that earlier today, I was very like, all right, this could be cool. I like where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, people have seen pictures with me, James Honor Taylor. I'm not saying anything, but I don't know if you know who that is, but he's the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Clone Wars.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. So like we talking. So it's cool. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Very nice. Very nice.
But
You had a
you'd say,
question?
Rep-
Did I interrupt you, brother? Do you have a question? Anybody else? Question?
Oh, I was going to say, Ripper definitely opened the door for Jay. As long as Jay doesn't open the door again, everything should be fine.
He'll be
you
making
never
buckets of money.
know. You never know.
Like, it's so funny.
You never know.
But yeah, that definitely clarified a lot. And again, for like people in chat, now you know your options, you know what you're getting into. And because again, like the descriptions like on Twitter and stuff on the website, which is very bare bones. And but now after
Yes.
Jay's explanation,
Yeah.
it kind of, you know what you're getting into, which is, important.
Well, that was the thing too. I was like, how much can I talk about? Like, because I know he wants in Rippa fashion, he likes to make, you know how it is. He likes to make his how he does his presentations, man. That's just how he is. He's good at what he does.
He's
And
very mysterious.
it's
Very
awesome to call him a
mysterious.
friend,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a
Awesome.
good job of building hype, like really good
Yeah,
job.
for sure.
That's my area of what I do in real life. But I think he does a great job of laying something out there, letting people speculate, and just let it grow and explode at the end. He's a good showman, for sure.
All right, 100%. Anybody else?
Does anyone else have any prevalent questions for Jay? We don't want
think,
to
Sorry,
hold
I'm
him
not
up
on
too much.
camera. I'm like getting my stream set up for.
I think
Sea of
Jess had
Thieves
something to
later.
say, or
Oh.
Jess had a question.
Oh yeah.
Is that Jess?
Yeah.
Hey, Jess.
Hi.
Hey, I see you always defending me in chat. I see you.
Jay, I'm your number one fan, Jay.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Anyway, like with Rippa and everything that he's doing, I was just wondering if he would actually publish people who actually have written like full-length novels, like me and Kaylin, for instance, because I mean, although I don't even know if he'd be interested in something like my book, because it's like a Victorian mystery crime with some historical.
Now, what makes you think he wouldn't be interested in it?
I don't know. I guess because
Stop
it's
doubting
like-
yourself, woman. Come on.
I know I shouldn't, but I guess because it's
Listen, I wrote a
things like-
kid's book, so why would I
That's
think he'd be
true.
interested in that? But I don't think why would anybody be interested in that? That's
I was
the
gonna say
thing.
Rippa made
Let me see.
he's an anarcho-capitalist, and he made a book about cops.
That's
So,
true.
I mean,
Yeah. Let me
I
see if
think
I
the
get my
door's
camera
open.
working.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I was just thinking, well, it seems like they more like kind of more the superhero, supernatural fantasy stuff, and I was like, I don't know if anybody want my funny little
You don't think?
yeah.
All right,
Victorian
hold on. Let's stop
mystery
you right
thing.
there.
I don't know.
I thought the same thing. Why would I release a book that's not catered to people in our community that like superhero novels and stuff like that? Mine was geared towards like 3rd to 7th grade. And it's like, well, if I could just sell 50 books, I think I'll be fine. It is what it is. But you'd be surprised how many people want to support you and see you successful. And you can't walk around like that. You just got to be like, I'm going to do it. If he says no, I'll go to the next one. I'll go to the next one. And you just got to keep at it, you know, like never quit on your dreams, whether Rippa does it or not. That's an excellent question. I think he has an email on there as well, where you could ask that. I would ask. It never hurts to ask, especially people in this community, like this group. People are amazing and they want to help. They want to see everyone in this circle succeed. They really do. And even, you know, even like with the me being picked on and all that stuff, people call me retarded all the time. I think it's hilarious and all that stuff. At the end of the day, they still want to see you. They still want to see you succeed, you know, and they still want to see people. You know, that's what like the rebellion life is all about. Is like rebelling against your fears and just going off and doing what you have to do. It's important, you know, that you not worry about what other people say, and just do it, because it doesn't matter what's going to happen. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. People are going to say it sucks. That's just how it is. It doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter how you say stuff. It doesn't matter. People will always hate it, but people will always love it, and people will always try to support you. So I wouldn't hesitate. Again, this whole Rippasend, in my opinion, I think this is just the start of something bigger. So,
and Jay, I
you
know
never
this is
know.
true for me and Jess. I assume it's the same for you. Something that definitely promoted me to start writing was because all the media coming out over the last 5 years has kind of just been downhill. It hasn't given me the same inspiration, the same entertainment, and I know that's what definitely motivated me to start writing. Jess said the same. Was that true? Was that true for you?
Well, oh, sorry.
Was that for
Jay.
Jess?
That was for
Was that for-
Jay. Me and Jess have
Okay,
talked about
so
this.
Okay, you're fine.
when I was a school teacher, and you start seeing like the garbage that they were starting to trickle in, you know, to like 2nd graders and 3rd graders, and then all you got to do is go on Twitter and see these ridiculous, weird teachers trying to teach 2nd graders about sexual stuff, you know, and you're just like, what is this? And they're trying to get these books in the library for kids, which is literally pornography, you know, for like 2nd, 3rd graders. And I cried about it and screamed about it for so long. And I knew I already had this book project in the back of my head. And people were like, well, you going to talk about it, or you going to do anything about it, Jay? I was like, all right, yeah. So I'm just put out what I know is I think is a great story to try to help kids understand that they do have a purpose. Look at that. And a plan in their life, you know,
Nice, man.
and that they don't have to be a superstar. They don't have to be the best athlete. They don't have to be the best singer. They don't have to be the best at anything. That they still have a value in this world. I think we've lost this whole thing about this whole friendship thing. Like, you remember like when Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back, when Yoda was like, "No, you can't go help your friends. Like, you got to stay here and finish your training, man." He goes, "So my friends can die?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Nah, those are my friends. Those are my people. They stuck up for me. I'm going to stand up for them." I feel like that is lost in our entertainment, like telling or in everything that we do. It's like these stories of like friendship and coming together, and it's, you know, and now it's all about, hey, you might have 100 genders, you know, you might be this, you might be that. Hey, 2nd grader, maybe you need to go to the doctor and have an operation. It's like, but you can't drive, you can't vote, you can't have alcohol, you can't have this, but you know, we could change your gender. That's fine. It's like, that's ridiculous. And so, you know, we've got to
start. The whole point of like a story is to inspire you. Like a good story inspires me. Like if I listen to a good audiobook or read a good book, it inspires me to go write. But if I'm like 8 years old and in school, and if the books is telling me that these two gay dads, what they do in the bedroom to each other, That's not inspiring me. But if I'm 8 years old and I go and I read Jay's book, I'm like, oh, whoa, I'm actually inspired. And I've got some good lessons, like you said, like Yoda, the friendship. It's very important to have good lessons, especially at that age, imparted to you. Versus now, the stuff, like you said, that kids are getting in schools, it's just like, what are we doing? What's going to happen like 10, 20 years down the line? Are we still going to have good stories? And that's why it's so important to have
That's
people like, you
exactly.
and
And
Jess,
so yeah,
independent stuff.
Yeah, young minds are very moldable, and they know this, and they're just pushing their message to the kids because they know teenagers and adults are not gonna fall for that. Well, maybe teenagers, but it's just that
well,
they're just trying to get the kids young.
the crazy thing is, like, we're living in a time where this younger generation in elementary school and middle school are being taught that multiple genders is right. You could be whatever your sexual orientation could be, like all this. They're teaching all this at such a young age that when they do turn on like YouTube or something and see older people like us saying, man, this is weird, this is wrong, already we are their enemy because that's what they're teaching them. Like anyone that goes against that is wrong. It's so
Right.
they won't listen to us because they've already been told, like, these people that are saying this stuff are bad people. So be careful because this is what they're saying. And it's crazy to me, So now you have this younger TikTok generation growing up, and it's just like, yeah, like these people are wrong. All these people here that are speaking out against it, they're all wrong because that's what I've been taught my whole life, And yeah, we have to counter that. We have to counter that, and we have to say that we have to, because if not, like we'll have an entire generation that will just be so confused. And when they do get older and realize that they've been manipulated and, by whatever it is, it's like it could be too late for some of them. It's very sad. It's very sad. So
But I think the
Yeah,
tide's
and-
turning a little bit, because just like Kalen, he's a pretty young guy, but here he is,
I don't know about that
writing his
Kalen guy,
books
man. I don't know. Doesn't
He's
brush
a bit
his
sketchy.
hair.
Yeah.
There's nothing in his shelf back there. Like, what's going on? Like, he doesn't have a
Blind
Star
spot.
Wars collection back there. I don't see a
Jay's
gun.
asking the right questions.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes. Keep
He
going.
is.
But no, to Jay's point, I want to hit back on that. This is something that I'm a parent, and the problem is there's a lot of good parents out there, and there's a lot of crap ones. Let's be serious. There's a lot of lazy ones.
Yeah.
But the parents that want to do good and do right by their children, for the last few years, we haven't, aside from going back into the classics, which there's nothing wrong with that, we haven't had the tools to kind of keep, we haven't had the cultural influence, like to give our kids something like, hey, here's Rippaverse comic, here's something that we know we can trust, that we can give to our child. Because I have to look over my kid's shoulder about everything.
That's a good thing, though.
It's a good thing, but I'm just saying, like, to have the tools to be able to do that, it helps parents that want to do right by their kids a lot. But the parents that don't want to just throw a phone in their hand so they can just drone out every day. Somebody that wants their kids to have good, wholesome entertainment so they grow up to be productive members of society and good people. So for what you are doing and what other people are doing in that regard, it's immeasurably important to parents out here that are to fight back against this nonsense and regain sensibility and common sense back into this world. So I love what you're doing, and I love what the fellowship is doing. So I as a parent, I can't thank you enough for taking those chances.
I think we're all, though, I appreciate it, but it is, I think it's all of us, the fact that, like, we'll take MegaCon, for instance, for those that came to MegaCon and were in the panel for like the F&T Geeks and Gamers panel, and there was so many people in there, and there is like videos out there and comments from people that hate what Geeks and Gamers stands for, and they're dumbfounded by, they're like, I don't get it. I don't get why this is so popular. And it's because all of you guys come out to support. All of you guys are showing up in the chat. We've got record live stream viewership, like we have like people, and look at, you guys are starting your own thing because of it. And it's just growing out, and you know, enough voices are drowning out the nonsense. But I do think there is I think it is a turning point, you know, and it's a long way to go, you know, but there's definitely like things that are changing. The fact that independent comics, that there are people out there that are doing so well, you know, Rippa being one of them, and others, you know, it just shows that there's a market for it. The fact that I did so well is beyond me, you know, like it's beyond me. And the fact that people line up to see a canceled Gina Carano with the longest lines of any con, where they have to like, you know, switch her to other places because they have too many people. The fact that the Rippaverse booth line was so long that the fire marshal wanted to change it because they didn't understand why there's so many people here. You know, it just shows that people are tired of this stuff, you know, and we want to come together and just kind of like, you know, how do we change that? And yeah, we're at this point now where most of us just laugh. Like, we're starting to laugh at how terrible like our entertainment is, and it's like, well, there they go again, another bomb. Like, and we can predict it now. You know, it's almost as if like I talked a lot about it on my channel, but like Star Wars Hotel, everybody in my chat, everybody was like, this is a bad idea. Like, this is a bad idea. It's going to close down in a year. It's like everybody called it except Disney. And what did they do? It closed down in a year. It's ridiculous. So it's like,
well, $5,000 for a what was it, $5,000 a night? That's crazy.
$6,000 for 2
That's
nights.
insane.
That's
Just stay in a
crazy.
bunker.
Still.
How do these
Yeah.
people pay for it? That's my
Yeah, it's like they just. That's what I'm saying. These people that are making this bad entertainment and stuff like that are delusional. And now, like, it seems like they're not really hiding it anymore. When you have people like Hillary, you know, Chelsea Clinton tweeting out like, we need to have these books in our schools in Florida because the Florida passed the law to take them out. And you go through the list, and half of it is basically pornography, you know, for second graders. And you try to tell them like, you shouldn't have this in your schools. The fact that a black man goes to a school board meeting, I don't know if you saw that clip, and starts reading out of one of the books, and they're like, hey, you can't say that here. Like, what's wrong with you? They're like, this is in my second grader's classroom, and I can't read it here at the school board. And they remove him. You know, it just shows that people are standing up, and like they, you know, they're not going to take it. I think when they started coming after the children, that was when most people just started like, you know, making bad movies and like woke movies and stuff. People are kind of like, well, I'm just not going to watch it. This is dumb. But now it's like this stuff has like really infested into schools and like younger people. It's like, yeah, no, this got to stop. Like, this has got to stop. So, and
a nice recent comparison we saw like, I mean, most of us, I was in, you know, Orlando. I saw the type of people that showed up to the G&G meetup. But then we saw a different type of churn out the other day where you were with Gina at a Fin Expo. And we saw the type of people that churn up to protest her. I think there were like 4.5 of them. Then maybe 2.5 testicles between them. They're wrapped up in the clown car. But it shows the comparison, right? It shows the people who value good entertainment, inspiring stories. And that shows the clowns who just want to come in and it'll infiltrate everything.
That also shows that like Twitter's not real life. And if you have people on Twitter that are like, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're dumb, it's just kind of like, you're not even a real person. Like, you're retarded. So
tell me something
they posted that. They posted that. And you know what? I wasn't going to retweet that post, right? Like, I wasn't going to, because like she gets that stuff anywhere she goes. Like, there's stuff like, oh, we're going to protest stuff. But the fact that they made a sign and taped it to the wall, I was like, all right, this is a little, all right, we're going to retweet this. And it once it gets out there, it's going to start cycling, you know, through everybody, like all upset. So they were really happy I did that. And they were like, oh, we're going to get a lot of people now. And so when so Gina went, this is what happened. So that morning, it was Monday, the head of security from Fan Expo came and he said, hey, I just want you to know, we're aware of the protest and we've got security here and everything is going to be fine and everything. And I was like, and I told him, I said, listen, if there's more than 5 people there, I'll be shocked. I said, I'll be shocked. He goes, I don't know, man. Some of that social media stuff is getting a lot of attention. I was like, that's all they want out of this is a lot of attention. So I'm like, no problem. So then the protest started at noon Vancouver time, and Gina was doing photo ops. She was doing her photos, and the security guy came and says, "I got a picture of the protest. Everything's okay. I just want you to be aware of it. We want to make sure our guests feel safe and blah blah blah." So he showed me the picture, and I was like, I got to go out there. Like,
Has this picture been released?
Out there and see this.
Has this picture been like put out there? Or is it just like
it's on my video. So it was the same. It was just that. So so then the Vancouver police, who were very nice, they came out and they said, "Are you going to go out there to where they're protesting?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Listen, I just want to tell you that you're not in America. This is Canada, and they have different laws against talking or upsetting protesters and stuff like that." So, and I said, they said, if there's somebody out there like talking to them and they're taking questions, then you could say something to them. But if not, like it'd probably be in your best interest. And I said, I'm just gonna walk past them. And if I see people talking with them, then I'll stop and ask them a question. But if they weren't talking, so so I went out there, and I was like, people were walking by and just kind of casually asking them something. And every time they asked them, because I stood out there for a minute, I just recorded, I walked past them, and then I just kind of waited to see if like more people were joining, right? Because I wanted to get like a full photo. But people would walk by, and every time they like kind of asked them, they just kind of chanted like safe space, man, which is fine, you know. So then I went back inside, and Gina was like, "Is there a lot of people out there?" I was like, "Yeah, you want to see?" So
and for anyone curious, this is the turnout for that protest, okay?
That's it.
We got like 4 of them. This guy's like smoking meth in the back, I guess. I don't know if he's like part of it. Maybe Jay can clarify.
I think they were getting ready to cross the street. I don't even know if they were part of it.
Yeah, definitely had his genitals removed, or sorry, whatever happened.
The guy in the white's rolling a joint. The guy in the white's like rolling a joint or something for sure.
So the only reason, like, if this happens when we're gonna go to Calgary, we're gonna be in Toronto. If this happens there, I probably won't record or take their picture. The main reason why I did this was to kind of prove to people that these weirdos on Twitter, like, their world is not real, right? And them thinking they would have 100, 200 people out there, they live in a fantasy world. And I also wanted to do this because the freaking media, which we can't trust, you know, will take that poster of a protest and turn it into a huge news story, and, you know, make it sound like there were hundreds of people out there protesting Gina's presence. And I was like, I'm doing this specifically just to diffuse all that stupidity, because they've done that before. You know what I mean? Like they've done that before. They took an online protest from change.org to get her removed from this fan expo and turn it into a major worldwide news story when they couldn't even get 1,000 people to sign their petition. You know, and it's just like anyone can sign that petition. Like somebody from Australia, it's like, it's not even like limited. So I was just like, we're gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this one time to, you know. So if they show up again, sorry, I'm not gonna give you the attention unless it's something. Look at that mug right there. Yeah, yeah. What a guy. What a yeah. That guy just walks right in the middle of the fire. But yeah, like that was the only reason. It was just kind of like, and again, I have to remember, like, it is Canada. I'm an American in Canada, and they arrest people for crazy reasons over there. And I wanted to respect, you know, what was going on. I didn't want to embarrass Gina at the fan expo or anything like that. So it was just one of those things. So,
well, Jay, aren't you originally from Canada?
Me?
Or is that, yeah?
No, that's a rumor.
Oh, jeez. Okay, never mind.
Canadian bear.
Canadian bear.
Yeah, I thought you were. Oh man, I thought you were actually Canadian. But Chris is Canadian, all right?
Florida boy, man. Florida boy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the memers got me. Damn. All right.
You believe the meme? Come on, man.
Everyone said you were Canadian, or you're from Canada, so I thought you were. You know?
And you know what? I thought you were from Cambodia, so I apologize. And now we can both come clean.
Kind of close.
We both
Wait, yo,
come
Pops,
clean.
are you not? you're just from the general
No,
Japanese area?
no. I'm Korean, so I'm a
Yeah,
mountain
he's
Asian, not a jungle Asian.
Korean. Double Asian. Got it.
Yeah,
He makes a
mountain,
mean
not
sticky
jungle.
bun. That's what I hear.
Some nice
Kimchi,
ramen
Look at
too.
Asian.
That sounds good right now.
Oh, hey, down
Look at
upwards is
Asians.
Canadian.
Right.
Down
Is it?
upwards. Do you circumcise your kids first, then mutilate them second?
Oh my
Just get a little
god.
bit first, then you go in for the rest.
Well,
I thought you weren't
I'm
I'm
Japanese,
not
bro.
associated
Up
with
in
the
Canada.
199 podcast.
Yeah, neither
Oh
am I.
yeah,
He
yeah.
does
We're
this
not.
It's all
every
right. We
stream.
understand.
Don't
We
get him
understand, Jay.
going
You got a
on
brand to
it.
protect.
Oh,
We get it.
See what happens. See what's
couple
happening
more-
to our youth.
Couple more questions and I gotta bounce. So if anybody has
Oh yeah, guys,
anything they
in
wanna
chat, do you have any
ask.
questions for Jay or about like Rippaverse
Isaac
publishing?
said, did Jay ever take Star Wars Theory to the range during the visit? No, man. But I did get to ride around in his Lamborghini in Vancouver. That was kind of cool.
That was cool.
Slick,
I saw
guys.
that
Look
video.
nice.
That was pretty cool.
I was like, man, you make Star Wars videos and you riding around in a Lamborghini? I'm doing YouTube wrong, man. What the heck?
Yeah, I thought you
So,
guys were brothers. I thought you guys were brothers at first.
I wish I had some of that money being his brother, but no, he's a great guy. He was a great guy.
So did
Kristen
Kristen
Ames
gave
did
you-
it.
That dude is yoked.
And he's also very
Dude.
short, so
He is, but he's built pretty well. Not a bad looking guy.
is Jeremy as gay in person as he is on the stream? No, he's gayer. Super gay. He wears like full, like you could ask him. He wears full body Under Armour. Full body Under
Full
Armour.
body?
Yeah, I don't know
thought it
how he
was just a
pees
t-shirt.
unless he just cuts a hole. I don't know.
Oh my god.
More gay.
Oh wait, Jay, question for anyone, because there may be someone in the chat who hasn't like read your book and is considering reading it or getting it like for their kids. Is there any gay messaging or propaganda in your
No.
books?
No.
No, guys, there isn't. What about that? What about a nice alternative?
Nope.
So if you don't want your kids to get politicized or corrupted,
Yeah.
give them Jay's book.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it's like, how about there's no sexuality in
Hey.
it? Not straight, not gay, not like it's
Two of 'em
just
over here.
kids
Kids
having,
being
kids
As
exploring.
it
Like
should
that's
be.
it.
As
So
it should be.
right, like no one needs to know
Adventure.
like what's going on, but like it's so weird to me that that someone would make a character from a child like, hey, this is John. He's agender
Yeah.
neutral, third generation, non-binary with it, and I'm like, what the who gives a freak like just make a fun story, man. Crazy.
But they can't make a fun story, so I mean that's what they got,
Yeah.
Jay's second book, Green Balls and Ham. That'll be the third book,
Oh,
man.
no.
Come on, man. Come on. Be the third book. But anyone else? Yo, Pop says I got to go. Oh, that's the
Yeah,
private
I gotta
chat.
go.
Sorry, man.
No, it's good. No. I gotta go because
He's got
I'm actually at the
diarrhea.
office right
I don't know
now.
what's
So I'm at the office right now, so I gotta take off. a little
What?
bit,
You're at
but-
the office?
Yeah, I'm streaming off my phone, man. I mean,
He's
you
like
gotta,
James
do what you
Bond.
gotta do,
Wait,
I love
go
it,
Jay your
man.
guns.
The sushi is running low. Get back to it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I love Yo Pops. It was awesome.
but hey, Jay, it was. I'm so happy that you came on, and
man.
Oh, man, I love
pray
you
for
guys,
much
man.
success in the future, man. So,
Well, only if you
I'll
buy,
see you
man.
guys.
Wait, I need that Yo Pops money. Come on, man.
If you make
Yeah,
me
please
manager, then I'll think
right.
about it.
Okay.
All right.
I'll let you
All
know.
right. All right. It was nice meeting you again, Jay. So
Yep.
I'll see you
no
guys.
problem.
Yo, Pops.
Take
Is that
care,
your
your
one?
pops.
Going once, going twice.
Guys, any
Gung Ho
final
Max says Jay's
questions?
book is great. Keeps my coffee table low. See, it's got a lot of uses. Come on, man. It's got a lot of uses. Will Jay be writing
shout
any
out to you,
books
Jay,
about
and thanks for the
non-binary,
invite.
gender, non-conforming, black, Chinese, lesbian,
No
dad,
problem.
adopt? Come on, dude. You just gave out my third book, man. Isaac. How did
It's
you get
gonna
that
be
information?
Achromatic Chronicles Blacked is the next one. Okay.
It's gonna be Achromatic Chronicles Clear.
Yeah, it'll just be
no
a kid.
color.
Clear, no
It'll just
color,
be
yeah.
it'll be a kid frowning, holding no balls.
No.
Like
No,
an outline of balls.
I am gonna bounce, but like seriously, guys, like just like you got one shot at life, man, and just you gotta laugh when it's time to laugh, and find goals that you want to accomplish and dreams, and don't hold back, because you never want to look back like 5-10 years ago and say, man, I think I should have, maybe I would have. And don't, the biggest problem in life today is people believe lies that they were told, such as you're too old to do this, you're too this to do that, you're too that, and then you believe it, and you took that lie and you turned it into a truth in your own mind, and here you are. And like, the last thing is like, don't take things online seriously. Twitter, YouTube, if trolls come in, just laugh at them. If you don't give them power, then all you can do is laugh at them and you disarm them. So I don't mind being teased or picked on. It never bothers me. So it's like, you just gotta laugh. I think it's funny. So I think it's funny that the internet thinks I'm retarded. That's what I really think is funny. So
No, we love
because-
Jay.
We
Just
know
letting
you
in on
are
it.
Jay.
It's
As,
like, the haters are like,
we
how
love
does
you,
this
man. We
retarded
love
guy
you.
get people watching him? And like, how is this retarded guy doing a book? Like, how is this retarded? So funny. So I like to keep it that way.
I
We
would
love
say
you no matter
mildly
who you are,
touched.
Jay.
I wouldn't
Well,
say
that's all
retarded,
right.
but mildly touched.
There
You
you
should
go.
get the Uncle Tom.
Thanks so much for
I get
coming
the
on,
Uncle
Jay.
Tom
Yeah.
status for the.
We definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Vagabundo.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, it's all right, Jay. I get the Uncle Tom status for my pictures with Ryan Kennel.
Yeah, that's right. You get all kinds of crap. Dude, Twitter's not real life. Let people talk crap. If you have to, the mute button works well. Most people that want to troll on Twitter are disgusting, hideous ogres anyway.
We saw
that
the
are
trend out, guys.
jealous
We just
that you're
showed the
doing
video.
something and they're not. That's usually how it is. So, but nothing but love for you guys, man. Like enjoy life, man, and keep grinding. You know what I mean? Keep doing your own thing.
We hope to see you in Jay. We want to see you in Vegas. You got to come so we
I
can all
want to
see
see you
you.
in Vegas. I want to meet you.
I'm working on it, man. Vegas
He's
is
working
in
on
April.
it, folks. April 10th, 11th. We're going to be there
Yeah.
the 8th.
I'm going to Canada.
Well, you're
in
doing the
April,
Dallas
too.
Expo too, right?
I will
You're
not
doing
be
the
in.
Dallas
We will
Fan
not be
Expo?
in Dallas this year. We're going to be in Calgary, Philadelphia, Knoxville, Chicago, Toronto, Germany,
Wow.
San Antonio,
Germany, nice.
Columbus.
Oh, Knoxville.
So-
Nice.
Okay, I do
Right
got
in
one
my neck of woods.
question because Chris Gore is gonna yell at me if I don't ask you this. Are you coming to Dragon Con?
When is that?
It's in
gonna
Atlanta. It's
be-
August. It's the first week of September. The last day of August, Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, it's a weird date, but like it's basically nerd Mardi Gras. That's the
Fantastic.
best
Heard.
way to explain it.
Mhm.
That
It
sounds
looks
cool.
like the last week in August I'll be in Toronto with Gina. So it's hard to say. If Chris Gore like helps me out, then maybe I can get there. Good old Frank. But
All right.
yeah, because then right
I'll
after
let him
that, we're if I end up going to Germany with Gina to Berlin, oh dude, I'm like gonna take tons of like photos like in Berlin and be like, I've finally returned home to where all you
Getting
guys have
back
called
to
me.
my roots.
Yeah, all you guys have called me Yahtzees my whole life. So now I'm home. You know, here I am. Now I'm home. So it's like that'll be
German
hilarious.
people probably won't appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'll just cry, you know, finally home. Oh my god, it feels so good. Yeah, just it'd be hilarious. But
Especially with Gina there, there's gonna be articles written, there's gonna be pictures taken, videos made, protests happening. Maybe some clowns will show up.
Yeah, the first comment would be Ryan Kindle going lucky.
100%.
I love Ryan. Oh my
Yeah,
god. You're
That's
so
my
funny.
boy. So in Germany there'll be the 199.
The 199.
Aye.
Anyway, man, I'm out. I'm gonna go play some video games. Y'all be easy, man.
Peace,
Keep doing what you're doing.
Peace.
We'll talk real soon, right?
Have
We
fun, Jay.
appreciate you.
All
right,
Thank
God
you,
bless.
guys.
Yeah, no
Later.
worries, man. Sean, that's my dude right there. That's my dude.
Dragon all.
I'm gonna get him married this year. Trust me, this year.
I'm working on that, man. I'm trying so bad. I'm
This
gonna
year I
go down
got
to New
you, man.
York. I got him, wingman.
I found
I'm
this
gonna get him.
girl. She might be a guy. It doesn't matter. It's all for you, Sean. I got this worked out.
Oh,
Like,
thanks,
we'll
man.
see. I'm just kidding.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I
Dragon,
love
no, it's
Jay.
not
Oh
as
my
many people
God.
show up, but it's more spread out. It's across like these 4 host hotels in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
it's
gonna
like
talk about
five
that more,
hotels,
but
right?
first, guys, Vagabundo. I didn't get to do a proper introduction because like Jay was here. I didn't want to interrupt him, but like,
Oh, that's
what's
all
up,
right.
dude?
Good. Thanks for the invite. Your friendly
Mhm.
neighborhood Uncle Tom.
Yep. Oh, we should have you on a stream with Malty sometime. Did you catch our slave owners stream? Okay. No, sorry. For context,
Ugh.
sorry guys, that sounds bad. For context,
I-
Malty.
what
I
was
wanna
it?
watch.
I've been
What's
catching
the
most of you guys stream.
context?
For context, I'm sorry, that sounded bad. For context, our good friend Malty is directly descended from the villain from Uncle Tom's Cabin. And we showed all his DNA stuff on a history stream we did last Saturday. But yeah.